We're always told to forgive, right? Turn the other cheek. It's supposed to be a sign of strength. Well, today, we're going to flip that idea on its head. We're diving into a philosophy that says the exact opposite. That when it comes to power, forgiveness, well, it could be a fatal mistake.
And this idea, wow, it doesn't pull any punches. It starts with this quote: "Forgiveness is often just emotional laziness." The whole argument here is that forgiving someone who's crossed you isn't strength. It's actually just taking the easy way out. It's avoiding the tough but maybe necessary work of making sure your position is secure. I know, it's a pretty shocking claim. So what's the logic here? Let's get into it.
Okay, so our first section gets right to the heart of this. We're looking at forgiveness not as some great virtue, but as a potential weakness, a real vulnerability. This is a direct challenge to something a lot of us probably grew up believing was just fundamentally good.
So here's the core argument. In any kind of ruthless, competitive world, think business, politics, even just social circles, when you show mercy, it gets misinterpreted. Your opponent doesn't look at you and think, wow, how graceful. No. They see an opening. They see a sign that maybe, just maybe, you don't have the stomach to finish the fight. And what does that do? It basically invites them to come at you again.
And that leads us right to the consequences, doesn't it? I mean, if forgiveness is such a big risk, what's the real price you pay for showing mercy when you've got the advantage? What actually happens when you leave a victory incomplete?
And here we have the two paths laid out, crystal clear. On one side, you've got the half-finished war. You show mercy, and what you might really be doing is planting a tiny seed for your own destruction, a seed that's going to grow into future betrayal. But on the other side, the decisive ending. This isn't just about winning the battle you're in right now. Oh no, this is about making sure everyone is obedient in the future and making another rebellion pretty much unthinkable.
Okay, so if mercy is a mistake, then what's the alternative? Well, this philosophy doesn't just leave you hanging. It proposes a really clear strategic principle to take its place, and it's called the law of finality.
Now, let's be super clear. This isn't about getting petty revenge. It is a cold, calculated strategy. And you gotta notice the key parts here. It's a single action, it has to be public, and it has to be decisive. The goal here has two parts. First, you eliminate the threat right in front of you. But the second part is arguably even more important. You deter everybody else from even thinking about trying the same thing.
The crucial thing to get here is that this is not just random aggression. It's a procedure, almost like a recipe, with three very clear steps. Step 1, strike once. That's it. No second chances, no repeat warnings. Step 2, strike publicly. Everyone has to see it. That visibility is absolutely non-negotiable. And step 3, make it final. There can be zero ambiguity, zero doubt about what just happened.
And this is where we get to the real psychological genius, or maybe the chilling part of this strategy. The person you're actually punishing, in a lot of ways, they're not even the main target. The real audience, the one you're actually playing to, is everyone else. Everyone watching from the sidelines.
Because according to this way of thinking, just one single public display of what happens when you cross the line, well, that's worth more than 1,000 warnings whispered in private. I mean, think about it, right? You can pull people aside and warn them one by one forever, but you're only reaching one person at a time. But a public spectacle? That sends a loud, clear, unmistakable message to everyone all at the same time. It takes punishment from just being a reaction to something and turns it into a powerful broadcast, an act of mass communication. And again, the point isn't just to be cruel. The point is to be understood completely by everyone, leaving absolutely no room for doubt. So, where does all this lead? What's the ultimate endgame here? I mean, what is the final goal of this cold, calculated approach? It's something much, much bigger than just winning one little conflict.
The goal is to create something called unthinkable rebellion. Think of it like a psychological checkmate. It's that point where the consequences of challenging you are so obvious, so severe, and so public that other people, they don't even let the idea of crossing you enter their minds. The battle is already won because it never even starts.
All right, so we've just walked through the pretty ruthless logic of strategic punishment. It's a whole framework for holding on to power, not through things like hope or goodwill, but through absolute clarity and deterrence. But, it forces us to ask a really tough, really important question. Where exactly does a calculated, strategic move end and just simple cruelty begin? That's the line, and that's something worth thinking about.